Hello and welcome to today's lesson on parallel lines cut by a transversal. So our objectives today is that students will use given geometric theorems and properties of rigid motions, lines, angles, triangles, and parallelograms to prove statements about angle measurement, triangles, distance, line properties, and congruence. So let's take a minute and pause this. I want you to mentally evaluate all the missing angle measurements in each figure. So go ahead and pause this video for a minute and evaluate the missing measures. Okay, you're back. Let's look first at figure A. Figure A, we're looking for this missing angle measurement. Well, I know this is a straight line. And I know a line has a measurement of 180 degrees, so I'm going to do 180 degrees minus 50. It's a really bad minus. So I know that that angle must be 130 degrees. Okay. Well, now let's go over to figure B. Here, I know that this angle right here, this angle right here is a vertical angle from the angle that says is 30 degrees. So it must be 30 degrees. And then I also know that this 30-degree angle here and this angle here make a line. So that one must be then 150 degrees, so that they add up to 180. And then again, this one down here is vertical from it. So this one must also be 150 degrees. And that wasn't too bad. Let's come over to figure D. So figure D, again, I've got 4 angles. So let's go first for our vertical angle. So this angle over here must also be 135 degrees. And then this angle here must add with the 135 to make a straight line, because this whole thing has to be 180. Or you could say this whole thing had to be 180. It wouldn't matter which set you chose. But either way, because that's 135, that this must be a 45-degree angle, which means that the vertical angle from it is also 45 degrees. Okay, not too bad. Hopefully you're able to get all those on your own. So let's talk about this. Make a mark and give a reason. You're going to do an activity with some lines and some reasoning. But let's look at this shape. So I see I've got 4 different angles here. I have angle A, B, D. I have angle D, B, E. Sorry, I should have a little angle measurement in front of each of these. I have angle C, B, A. Remember, this is how we name our angles. And then finally, I have angle CBE. This is important. Remember that we just name our angles with 1 point from each side and the vertex, that point where it changes in the middle. So in this case, all of the vertexes are B. So we're going to use this to go to this next one. In your group, I want you to complete this sentence. Your sentence starter, you fill in angle blank is congruent to angle blank because blank. So far we've talked about vertical angles, and we've talked about adjacent linear angles. So think about those, and in your group, create a sentence. Okay, hopefully you did that and you created that sentence in your group and that we have shared them. So let's go to our last thing. Okay, so here I have intersecting lines, A, E, and C D, the same picture I used in the last one. But this time, what if I decided to take line A, E, and sort of go ahead and translate it. Remember translation? We keep everything stays the same, it just slides. I'm going to translate it down here. And I'm going to, ooh, that was a bad picture. Hold on a second. Let me undo that. Go to that. So here's my line here. We're going to say that this is parallel because I just translated it. I just backgrade it, making sure my lines stay where they need to be. So let's take that line and we're going to put points. You can see I'm going to call this point F and point G. And I'm going to give myself another point over here called point H. Now, instead of having 4 angles, I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 angles. So, you're going to take turns with your partner. Look at the instructions here. You're going to take turns with your partner to identify which angles are congruent. You could use the numbers I gave, or you could go ahead and just name them using your ABD. I'd actually like you to use the ABD, but if you need to use the numbers, use the numbers. So you're going to, for each pair of congruent angles, you're going to explain how you know the angles are congruent. I need you to use the things that we've talked about. I need you to think about, when do I have vertical angles? Vertical angles. When do I have adjacent linear angles? So adjacent linear angles. Think also about maybe corresponding angles, because remember, we've talked about when we translate, rotate, reflect, we create corresponding items because we're creating things that are congruent. Okay? So, for each match that you and your partner finds, you're going to listen carefully to the explanation. Remember that if you disagree, you're going to discuss your thinking and work to reach an agreement. So, in your groups or your pairs, you are going to explain to your partner, take turns explaining to your partner how you know the angles are congruent. We're looking for congruent angles only. And for each match that your partner finds, you're going to listen carefully. So you're either listening or you are explaining, and you're going to keep a written record. Okay, go ahead and do this in class, and I will see you if you have any questions.